YouTube. 5 seconds.
So we have chance to chat and some other times. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, Sarge. All right, guys. Could I have one of you just check the sound on YouTube if the sound is okay and it is streaming, just because I can't see it from my.
Okay, but what can I see it? Yeah, okay.
I see it.
Okay, thank you.
See you later.
All right, guys. It is now 5 minutes past 7 and Danish time, and the webinar is starting now. So what we're going to talk about today is AI and how to write humanized AI content. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Jesper Nissen, and I'm the founder and creator of Yax and SchemaWriter.ai. And with me today, I have Klemen Vidic. Hello, Klemen.
Hello.
And Klemen Vidic is a good friend of mine, and he's actually also been to Denmark 2 years ago to speak at my SEO conference, the Yax SEO conference, and it was a great pleasure to have.
Copenhagen.
Sorry?
No, it's okay. I was talking to my wife.
Could you please? I'm going to mute you, Sarge.
Yeah.
So it was a great pleasure to have the privilege to have Klemen come and talk to me and all the other people at the Yax SEO conference 2 years ago. And Klemen is a super smart guy. So he has a background in not mathematics, but it's statistical mathematics. What is it that you call it, Klemen?
Yeah, I first did mathematical physics and then I studied actuarial science.
Yeah, so
That's
actuarial
statistics.
science, but also mathematical physics. So it turns out actually that Klemen and me, we have a lot in common because my background is also in theoretical physics, which because it's quantum mechanics that I studied, it involves a lot of mathematics. And Klemen will be sharing with us today some of his latest findings about how to create AI content. And the premise for this webinar is, of course, that I strongly believe, and I think that Klemen agrees with me, that it's becoming more and more important for us to try to humanize the AI content that we produce. I love to use AI. I use ChatGPT every day, as probably the same as you guys. But I am also aware that I can't just keep on spitting out crap content, because sooner or later Google will crack down on this crap content, robotic AI machine content, and it will de-index it. It might not be today, it might not be next year, but it will come. I'm sure of that. So there is always, of course, the discussion between those SEO people that think, well, as long as it provides quality, and that is a point there. But I still believe strongly that we need to try to humanize our AI content. And with that, I will give the words to you, Klemen.
Thank you very much. So just to continue on helpful content, I think there are three dimensions of the helpful content. One is relevant to Google, which means that includes all relevant semantic entities, but it could be crappy content. The second one is that it sounds human, so it's not detected as AI text. And the third dimension is that it sounds right to the human, so that human would find it interesting and would actually read it. And I do believe that these three dimensions are different. They are three different things. Jesper, can you allow me to share my screen?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I can.
I think that you can do that now.
Yes, I can. Just a second. Do you see my screen?
I see Klemen Vidic has started screen sharing, but I don't.
Okay, cool.
Now we see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys see it? Could you type yes?
Okay. So to start with the local SEO, I found out I was trying to create a good human text, and I realized there are two different problems. One is the short content, for example, local SEO text, and another one are the longer articles, for example, the pillar pages. And I found out there are two different problems that need to be tackled separately. So one of my preferred writing tool is Claude. Other AI models are fine. I have found out that ChatGPT 4.0 is currently not the best, saying it politely. But what I'm playing with and what I have also included into my course is basically I start investigating different writing styles. For example, I started with Ernest Hemingway, and I find out that Claude can imitate Ernest Hemingway, but it's too mushy, too poetic, too literate. So for our work, I guess copywriters are the best. And I started research. I started exploring different writing styles of different copywriters. And in my course, I'm giving you writing styles of different copywriters. What I find out is, for example, if I take one of the leading magazines, or I'm talking about magazines like Harvard Business Review, and if I take the text from the magazines like Harvard Business Review and use it as a seed to determine the writing style, basically thinking if it's in the magazine like Harvard Business Review, it must be good. No, it's not. It's already polluted by AI. So in order to get a quality text that could be used as a seed to determine writing style, the best thing is to go to the physical books, the ones before AI era, 5 years old books. So I did exactly that. I went to the physical books and I started typing copywriting text, and I started developing my own, not my own, the writing styles of the leading copywriters. So for example, just to give you an example, here I have one local web page that really doesn't have a lot of the text. It's a local driving range random page that I just clicked. And if I see something like rewrite the page and use specified writing style, and here you see one of the copywriter writing styles, I'm getting something. I'm getting some good text. It's like, for example, I don't know, no 5 hours that marches, no dress code, no attitude, just a solid parse-free course that gets you in. It's better than 90% of the local business. And that this writing style, it used to give you human text that was not detected by AI. Now it gets detected, but I can also show you the technique how to make it undetectable. But what I wanted to say, just by using this writing style, you can get pretty far. You can get a nice text, the text that will convert better. Also, if you go to the schema writer, and for me,
Klemen,
yeah,
before we proceed to schema writer, can I just ask a question about what you just talked about? I don't know if you're coming back to it, but you mentioned, and this is a genius idea, going back to the books, because almost all SERPs now are polluted by AI.
yes.
So going back to the books, how do you practically go about going back to a book to grab?
Old school. You go to the bookstore, you buy a book, and then you type the content. You copy, you retype the content. You don't need a lot of the sample text. Just a couple paragraphs are enough.
Oh, so would it be possible to? I'm thinking, would it be possible if you want to write like Hemingway, or if you want to write like Darwin or some old school guy or woman, would it probably, or Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, would it be possible to find them online and just,
You only need a couple of paragraphs. Yes, of course, you can go online, you can copy paste. In my course, I'm showing how I went to the online and I copy paste because in the course I didn't want to manually type. But the writing styles that I'm attaching to the course, they were developed by me manually typing the sample text from the physical book into the cloud.
That's actually incredible. Incredible idea. Okay, I'll mute myself. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah. So I'm just saying I could go to the schema writer. I could pick up the entities. Here, I could download them and I could put them into the cloud and make better. But basically, just by using this writing styles, you can get a long way. And then I proceed to the long content, to the pillar pages. And the colleague of mine, Peter Hatterley, has discovered, because what we were facing is the quality of ChatGPT 4.0 went to the toilet. And we were observing this. And what Peter Hatterley discovered, and this has not been discussed anywhere, so you're the first one who are hearing this, is it seems to Peter that AI models like ChatGPT, they want to play it safe. They want to talk about things they are certain. So they want to drift back to their comfort zone. So if you develop a strict outline, and I'm showing you the process, in the course I'm showing the process how to develop perfect outline. But even if you develop the perfect outline, if you carefully specify it, the AI is going to drift away. It's going to start to blab the text that it will just drift away from what you want to something that the AI is comfortable talking. And that results into the bland text that doesn't really provide any value. It drifts away to the unhelpful content. And that's why Peter has developed the set of protocols where you determine the proper structure, you prevent the drift, you request the proper visual formatting, so you don't want to have the wall of text, you want to have a nice formatting, and then you audit the text. So even if you specify everything carefully, you then say, okay, now audit all the text, and if it complies with my request. So basically, as a result, you tie hands to the AI. So AI has no other choice than to execute, to write article exactly with the specification that you gave to them. And in my course, you are getting the prompt that you can write the article. If you want more styles, if you want to have more automatized solution, I also give you the link to the Peter Hatterley custom GPT, which gives you a little more luxury. But then again, 5 minutes ago, I was talking about the writing styles. I was talking about the artistic. I was talking about the copywriters. And now I'm talking about precise requests, about the constraints. And that is the issue, because if you constrain AI, there is no other way than to produce robotic text. So you have very relevant text because you produced really good outline. You have very relevant text because you forced AI to follow your outline and do it exactly as told. And then you have robotic text. So in the third step, I'm humanizing the content. I'm also showing you how to humanize the content. And in the course, I'm giving you two versions of the prompt, but I'm also showing how I have developed this prompt. So that not just that you are getting the prompt, but you're also getting the prompting technique that went you from A to Z. And it's basically, it's linked to the role playing, it's linked to the discussing with AI, and it's linked to the using multiple models. So for example, you can start with the Grok, continue with the Claude and ChatGPT, and then pass the Claude result into the ChatGPT and pass the ChatGPT results into the Claude. You understand? So, for example, Gen 0 is Grok, Gen 1 is ChatGPT and Claude, and then Gen 2 is just reversed. And in Gen 2, you are getting really good prompt. Basically, you're there. So, just to give you an example, for example, that was I wanted to write an article about the climate-driven health crisis. So basically, how the change in the climate affect the life insurers, which I think we can all agree it's quite a difficult subject. This is the output of the outline prompt. So the outline prompt has produced this outline. And then I ask the writing prompt to write this article. Actually, it's not this one, it's this one. So this is the prompt, and this is the outline. And the initial, it's very relevant. I mean, the article is very relevant. I can show you that. But it's a very robotic text. It flex, you see, it's 100% likely AI. It's a difficult to read. It's absolutely up to the point. I can show you in what you can do. You can always copy paste the article and put it into the schema writer and see how you are covering entities. So that's my schema writer. I just need to
Klemen,
delete FAQ. Yes.
Klemen, there was a question about from Anna about if prompting logic is included in the course, and also who is Peter Hatherley? If you could just
okay, I will answer that.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, this copy pasting didn't work. I will copy it from here.
Because I think that many people, they don't know what Peter Hatherley is.
So you see, this is the result of the writing prompt. You are getting the relevant article, but it is not human-like. And then I have used then I humanize it, and it went from 100% AI to 100% the human. So you see, everything is green. There's no AI. Also, the readability is better. So
that is, I'm sorry to interrupt again. That is extremely impressive, Klemen.
Yeah.
Extreme, because beating or outsmarting originality is probably the hardest thing to do, actually. It's the most difficult AI checker to beat.
Yeah. Now, Peter had back into the couple years ago, there was a phrase program. And in the phrase community, there were 3 developers of the prompts. One of them were Peter Hatherley. I think Matt Zimmerman, that's the guy who wrote ZimWriter, was also the one. So the Peter Hatherley was the most famous, Matt Zimmerman was the second most famous. And they were known for providing good prompts. And Peter Hitterle, he also worked with Bill Slavsky, and he developed custom GPTs. And his latest work is the work on the drift protocol. So he created a custom GPT, zero drift, that you can, for example, you can just write an article regarding regarding topic for a particular audience, and it will write the article without drift. So, I mean, basically, you can either use my prompt, which will work, or if you purchase his custom GPT, you can also use this. But I would still use the outline derived in the first step. So what you are getting from my course, in the first step, you are getting the prompt that you can copy paste into the ChatGPT or Claude. And then you are getting the writing prompt that writes the article. And then you're also getting the humanizing prompt. And for the humanizing prompt, I disclose how I got it. So you get all the steps. I disclosed all the steps that I got from the beginning till end. For the writing prompt, I disclosed the logic why it's working. It's working because it's following the no drift protocols. And outline is basically, I started by asking, I'm also disclosing the logic behind outline prompt. Basically, I started with the Grok asking to identify Google patents, and then Grok is writing the prompt for the outline, and then I went to the ChatGPT and asked him to review the Grok work and improve it. So you're getting both, you're getting the prompts, but you're also getting the logic behind the prompts. So besides this, I mean, I was playing. This is not the only article that I created. There were other articles before. Sorry. So, for example, I also played with other like high-risk AI systems, legally, regulatory, and or maybe AI Act training. Basically, I was able to humanize any text. I believe this AI, these are the most difficult to humanize because they are full of definitions. So by nature of the article asks for definitions, and yet the prompt was able to humanize it. But for example, sorry, originality is a little bit slow.
So while we're waiting for originality, I just want to clarify, because I'm sure that other people are also thinking about that. So what you're saying is that basically when you're humanizing some of this content, you use one prompt.
Yes, and basically it's a three-step process. In the first prompt, you are developing the outline. In the second prompt, you are writing the article, and in the third prompt, you humanize the content.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a three-step.
And how do you see that? Because Peter Hatherley and many other SEO guys, they have created these chatbots inside of ChatGPT where they train ChatGPT on some material, and then you can use that to write. How do you see that a prompting method like you use and that like I also use, how do you see that this differs from using, a ChatGPT bot?
Right. So first of all, currently I think that Claude is better than anything else. In fact, here we have, this was article written using my prompt and Claude. this was article using the Peter Hatterley zero drift custom GPT. And then this is my article humanized by humanizing prompt. And this is Peter Hatterley zero drift article humanized using humanizing prompt. So basically what I would say is, if you're happy with my prompt, you're good. If you would like to have additional flexibility to be using, because Peter custom GPT, I believe it has around 40 writing styles. If you want to have additional flexibility, then you could also consider buying his custom GPT. But in spite of that, even if you're buying the Peter Hatterley custom GPT, I would still encourage you to use the outline from my prompt and to use humanizing from my prompt. Does that answer the question?
It answers my question, yes.
Okay. I know there are claims that could be done in single prompt, but I have found basically the third step is really good, just to humanize everything. And it's, I mean, look at his article, for example. Sorry, that's wrong. So that's his article, written by Zero Drift. By the way, this M dash is the dead giveaway of the AI. Life insurers are staring down an 820 billion annual climate health impact that's rewriting the mortality playbook. Well, in my outline, I asked for a hook. You see, that's the hook. That was my specification. Life insurance phase. This was the hook that I specify in my outline. So for sure, the Peter Hatterley custom GPT respond accordingly, but it's a robotic text, and I mean it's good that it's responding, because Zero Drift is ensuring that you're getting exactly what you're asking. So it's a good thing, but then you need to humanize it, which I can do pretty easy. So, okay, so this is his article humanized, and it's a climate change isn't some distant threat you can shelve for the next quarter. It's an 820 billion annual sledgehammer to health outcomes, and it's swinging right now. So this is written for the insurance executive. I mean, this is engaging. This is something that you want to read. And it's actually one prompt away from the output of the custom GPT. That's why I think this process, it's really good. And also, there are two things I would like to mention regarding the SEO. First of all, I believe that the power of X depends upon the quality of the money page. Shitty money page, it's difficult to power shitty money page. And the second thing is that entities do matter. I would just like to show you this. This is a screen from Tit Kubaitis. He's creator of Quora, and he published the top SEO factors. I just search for entities. So the second most important factor is the number of distinct entities. And that's this. I mean, if you are getting a good set of entities, you can use it. It's the second most important. Actually, if you take a look on this screen, okay, if you ignore if you ignore this diversity, if you ignore number of factors, because that just tells you that you need to use many other factors. You cannot rely just on one factor. But anything besides this, it's variation and entities. Entities, number of distinct entities, entities in title tag, entities in HTML tag, entities in sentences, entities in H2 tags, entities in H1 tags, entities in meta description tag. Thank you, Jesper, for telling me this. And just to look this, it's relevant for 86% of keywords, but only half of the pages are using. So here, people are not using this. People are not using this. Only half of people are using entities for H2 tags. So these are the things that you can improve. And the reason why I'm telling is, now this is my personal opinion, Schema of Writers gives you the best set of entities. You can get them from TextRaiser, you can get them from Page Optimizer Pro, you can get them from Cora, but I do believe that these ones are the best. So that's a hidden gem behind the curtain. And what I'm also doing is, I think it's also, sometimes I'm also checking the outline. So the results of the first step, sorry. So instead of checking the, oh, sorry, wrong data. So instead of checking content, I'm checking the outline, and I can see that outline is fully diverse. That outline has a lot of entities. Sometimes you need to remove certain entities, like, for example, HTTP, but that's an obvious one. Probably I haven't used United Kingdom because in my outline, there was some sentence that specify US market as geographically. In real life, this is probably more targeted to European life insurers. In the real life, I would correct this one. But because it was targeted for the US, then of course the outline doesn't have the United Kingdom, which is more or less normal. So this is all I wanted to show. Is there any question?
Yep, there are some questions. Let me just scroll up. Hold on. So Anna was asking, will we get prompting logic? And the answer was yes. And Frank Yao was asking, is this a separate course that we need to purchase, please? And I will say yes. So Klemen, he has a brand new AI course for sale, and it's super duper cheap. What's the price, Klemen?
Until end of month is $99.
It's only $99, and you get these giga prompts, these prompts that Klemen he has engineered, and it's just $99. Yeah, it's so cheap. So, and then Ed is asking, how can this be used for local service business website content? Service pages, location pages, homepage. Thanks.
Right.
So he's asking, how can you apply this to local content, service pages, location pages, home pages?
Right. So for the local pages, I would, let me just show you. So here we have entities for Radon, right? sorry, entities, I can just download it. Okay. So these are the entities from the radon. I would go to the list to comma separated just to convert it to the comma. So now I have it in the comma separated. Let's find radon testing. Okay, so let's just say that we need to improve this test, this page. We could simply go to the cloud, ask or rewrite page. Use specified writing style. You don't need to actually specify that because I already specified here. And write it, and then we can do it in 1 or 2 prompt. We can also say, friend gave you list of relevant semantic entities that competitors are using. Sorry. And I would just copy paste this. I could also say that I could also check the competitors' web pages and use information from there, but basically this is so it will think, it will search, it will do, and then it will write. And you can also check different writing styles. For example, some of them are more creative, some of them are more crisp. For the AI definitions, you cannot use creative one.
So just to clarify, what Klemen did here was that he in Schema Writer first he ran a test for a keyword to identify what entities the competition use, and Schema Writer sorts these entities. So we actually identify the entities using the TextRacer API and other APIs also, but mainly TextRacer. And then we sort them using our own machine learning algorithms. So because it turns out that TextRacer is not very good at sorting these entities. So that's why, Klemen, that you can identify entities that are relevant to rankings because they are sorted by that already.
Yes, and I mean, it's basically you're getting best of both worlds. You're getting text that is rich with entities, but also text that sounds natural. Because it's one thing, for example, to get the list of entities, but then sometimes some programs produce a shitty text full of entities. But here entities are naturally incorporated into the text. And that's why in the beginning I said we have 3 dimensions. So this covers it's rich with semantic entities, so it's good for the Google. B is good for the human reader because it's engaging. It may flag positive for AI. We could also humanize it. If we humanize it, then it will be still engaging. We may lose 1 or 2 entities, but it will not flag for AI. And I mean, look, I mean, it's the hard truth. Your home might be killing you slowly. Radon is radioactive carcinogen that causes lung cancer. You can't smell it, see it, or taste it. Testing is the only way to know. And compare it to testing your home is the only way to know if radon levels are high. If radon levels in your home are high, you and your family could be at risk for lung cancer from radon. This text is absolutely correct, but it's not engaging.
Klemen,
So
we have a question if the humanizer test in Quillbot is a good checker. I don't know if you use that Quillbot.
I have used zero. I have used zero ChatGPT, and I would say it like this, because you are paying for the credits on originality. Until you pass zero GPT, there's no need to go to originality. You know, it's I mean, you can use zero GPT for the most of time, and you can use originality for the final push. So this one, it's 33. If I would go through originality, it would be 80, 90%. And I can basically, just a second.
Anna is also asking, it sounds like you're using 2 or more AIs to get originality.
Sorry?
Anna is asking, it sounds like you are using 2 or more AIs to get originality.
My choice is Claude. I mean, Claude is the best one, basically.
And Scott is asking if you have used SimWriter, and if you have used it, can the output of SimWriter be humanized?
Of course. I mean, you could use. I haven't used SimWriter for many months because last year I had some health scare. But you can use entities from schema writer, feed them into the SimWriter, or maybe you can use my first prompt to develop an outline, feed it into the SimWriter, or just create outline in SimWriter, write article in SimWriter, and then humanize it using the third prompt.
Excellent. So Abdul, sorry.
Alternative, this is what I didn't try, but SimWriter has a special instruction that's applied at the end of the text creation. And if you would use writing style as a special instruction, I haven't tested, but this is something on my to-do list.
We have one more question. Is it okay?
Yeah, let me just check this one before, because this text that has 33% on zero chat, I just put it through Humanizer, and we can check it again. Okay, so it did not remove it completely. So what I would do is I would say, good work. You have eliminated half of robotic text. Can you remove the other half? Right as human. And now it will remain the remaining. Sorry. Jesper, you wanted to ask a question. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I muted So Abdul is asking if, let's say that we have a blog post and it's written by ChatGPT and it contains already all of our entities and all of that stuff. So during the humanizing process, will our entities and semantic words remain the same, or will they collapse and turn our article into crap?
Now, you will lose one or two entities, but vast majority it will remain.
Frank is asking, I am using Cora, but what was the other tools mentioned for the best entities?
Page Optimizer Pro. But Cora and Page Optimizer Pro are using the same source for entities.
Yeah. So Frank, Klemen is using Schema Writer also. I think that was what you were asking, Frank.
Yes, before I used Cora and I switched to Schema Writer.
Talha is asking how to avoid AI hallucination.
AI hallucination you can avoid in the second prompt. You are asking to prevent drift. You're providing with a structure. You're asking to prevent drift, and then you audit that the drift has been prevented. So that's the first part. Also, at the end, in originality, you can do fact check. You can also ask. You can also ask AI to review the article.
And so the key to avoid drifting or AI hallucination is by chopping up the writing process. So you need to chop it up, and that's why you're starting with this very detailed overview. So because what we're all doing is, me also included, even though that I know it's not a good idea, when I'm using ChatGPT, basically one prompt to write an entire article. And I know that it's not the best solution, but it is not the best solution because it does drift and it does hallucinate at the end of the article. So in order to get good articles, you do need, like you're showing, Klemen, you need to chop up the process.
Yes.
Kyle is asking, Klemen, do you have preferred writing styles for different types of pages that you are going to show in the course?
Now, I have two conflicting messages. I said that in the writing style, I have to basically tie down the AI. Basically, I'm putting so much constraint that I'm killing creativity of AI. That's why in the third step, I'm humanizing. And the writing style doesn't really affect if you're using this three step. If you are for the local, absolutely. For the local, I'm attaching, I believe, 3-4 best writing styles. And then you can check some of them. For example, if it's the crisp, it's more crisp. If it's creative, and it's more creative. For example, for the lipsticks, you're going to use creative. For the actuarial science, you will use the crisp person. I would advise you, if you have a local client, check which writing style works the best and then stick to that one.
I think this is excellent. I don't see any more questions. So if we have a couple of questions about if there is a replay. There is a replay because this is live streamed to YouTube. So the replay will just be public in YouTube. So you can just go watch it there. And do you have some final remarks about your process with the SEO optimization, perhaps? Because we talked a lot about the prompts. How do you ensure? So you go to Schema Writer and you insert the article, and then you can ensure that it has the entities. But are there other things that you do?
Well, if I would have Cora, then I would also list variations. Then also the Schema Writer also gives you the LSIs. If they are reasonable, that depends upon the keyword, then I would also use this one. But that's more additional or optional.
All right.
Maybe
Yeah.
at the end, I would just tackle the Sergio questions regarding your course and the backlinking. I also have a backlinking course, and what I find out is that the combination of, I mean, either your course or for my course, if we just combine my course with your local SEO model, it works really well. So it's if anybody is using my backlinking course, just add the local SEO as Jesper, you are instructing in your course. It's really like a day and night. I'm getting really good results.
Yeah, I'm getting extremely good results also with the driving directions and
Yeah.
the
This
stuff.
is just this extra. It kind of really gives really good results.
Yeah. And Charles is saying, this was great. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, Klemen. So, yeah, I agree. Thanks for having you, Klemen, and it was a
Welcome.
pleasure.
Thank you.
And yeah, people are saying thank you. So yeah, go buy Klemen's course, support him, $99, super duper cheap. And yeah, I think we'll just stop now, Klemen, and thank you for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thank you. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye bye.
All right, so I'll just